Welcome. Let's start today seated, and I recommend having 2 pillows or 1 yoga bolster, and then a couple of blocks, and you can use rolled towels in replacement of the blocks if you don't have those at home. So recommended, not required. You can sit up on your bolster or one of your pillows to start. Relax your hands about mid-thigh and close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, begin with some slow, deep breaths in and out. Each time that you exhale, center yourself over your base. Think front to back, side to side. As you exhale, you're evenly grounding down into the floor. And as you inhale, out of that groundedness, find a sense of length and lift up through your spine. Shoulders back. Throat and neck soft. Begin just by becoming more present in your physical body. Notice sensations. Notice where you feel a little restricted or maybe a little bit of tightness. And notice where you feel open too. Notice the mind as it dances around with distractions, either internally or externally. Just breathing into it, bringing a little more attention to the quality of your breath. So without counting or measuring, just starting to feel and hear and sense an evenness in the duration and the depth of your exhales and of your inhales. Take 4 more breaths here. And then blinking your eyes open, move nice and slow, and you can slowly make your way up to standing. And although most of this practice today will be on the mat, we will do a couple of things here standing next. So coming to the top of your mat, looking down at the feet, bring the feet parallel, about outer hip distance apart from each other. And center your weight front to back, side to side, over your feet. And then have a sense that from the pelvis, you're rooted down through your legs into your feet. Make that connection from the pelvis all the way down into the floor. And then from the pelvis up, find a sense of liftedness. And you can reach your arms straight forward, interlace your fingers out in front of you. And then start to reach your arms up, keeping that interlace of the fingers. And you can keep your palms facing down or flip the palms, pressing the palms up. Keep the interlace, keep active through your arms, and soften the top line of your shoulders. Each exhale, create that sense of groundedness from your pelvis down into your feet. And as you inhale, it's like the arms can help lift you up as you reach up through the arms, as you stay soft at the top of the shoulders, as you stay soft across the front of your chest, shoulders back. Shoulder blades into your back. Reconnect to the breath. And then slowly release your arms down by your sides. Just for a moment, pause here and feel the sensations. Maybe it's tingles or sensations through the arms, fingers, shoulders, maybe even your upper back. And then reach your arms forward again. And this time, interlace your fingers. And then check it and bring the opposite thumb on top. So the awkward interlace this time. And then again, reach the arms up. You can keep the palms facing down. You can turn the palms up. The top line of the shoulders is soft, even as the arms are lifted. Each exhale, as you draw your navel in, that sense of groundedness from your pelvis down into the four corners of each foot. As you breathe in, you're lifting from your side ribs, up through the back of the heart, up through the back of the skull, up through the back of the arms. Take 3 more breaths here. Down by your sides, just like before. Pause here, take a couple breaths. Observe the sensations in your hands, in your wrists, in your elbows, in your shoulders, in your upper back. Taking a step back with your right foot, turn to face the right side of your mat. Feet are parallel. Hands come to your hips. And again, from the pelvis, feel rooted down into your legs. Center the weight over the feet, side to side, front to back. And then keep that sense of groundedness from your pelvis down into the floor as you start to bow forward. And you can bring your fingertips to the mat. If you want, you could add a block here. So your hands come to a block as you fold. Letting the weight of the head be heavy. Keeping the weight centered over your feet. Each exhale from your pelvis, you're rooted down into your feet. Navel to spine. As you inhale, head hangs heavy, tail lifts a bit. Keeping the legs strong. Come up a little bit, bringing your torso parallel to your mat. Hands either fingertips under the shoulders or hands onto the block under the shoulders here. And then bring your left hand under your nose. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Center the pelvis side to side. Keep that sense of groundedness from your pelvis down. And start to rotate your rib cage and your chest open towards your right. So as you rotate the rib cage, pull the left hip, the left thigh back. Keep the weight centered over the feet. Wrap your right shoulder, your right collarbone back a little bit more. Good. And then soften your throat. You can look down, you can look up. Right hand can stay on your hip, right hand can extend up. Exhalation, as the navel draws in, you're rooted down from the pelvis into the floor. Each inhale, breathe evenly into both side bodies and soften and open there as the rib cage opens towards the right. One more breath. Good. Right hand comes down. Right hand stays under your nose. Left hand comes to your left hip. Start with the pelvis level, that sense of groundedness from your pelvis down into the floor. Inhale, lengthen a bit. Exhale, rotate your rib cage towards the left. Rotate your collarbones towards the left. Left shoulder, left pec wraps back. Right hip, right thigh pull back a little bit. Each exhalation as you draw your navel in, you're rooted into the floor. Each inhalation, breathing into the right and the left side of the ribs, softening and opening there. Maybe the left arm reaches up. Take 3 more breaths. Bringing the left hand down one more time. Either right hand to the right hip or right arm sweeps up. Left hip, left thigh, pull back. From the pelvis, you're rooted into the legs. You're breathing evenly into the left and the right side of the torso. Taking a couple more breaths. Really focus now internally. Feel the organs in your belly and your chest getting wrung out here. Top line of the shoulders is soft. Throat is soft. Legs are strong. Bring your right hand down. Right hand under the nose. Left arm sweeps up, or left hand to your left hip. Right thigh, right hip pull back a little bit. Each exhale, root into the floor from the pelvis down into your feet. Each inhale, softening and opening through the side bodies as you rotate your rib cage open towards the left. Throat is soft. Really focusing these last couple breaths of your innards. That rinse and soak effect that twist can have internally. Exhale, release the left hand down. You can fold again, take 3 breaths. From the pelvis, you're rooted down into the floor. Hands slide up the front of your legs as you bring your torso upright. Hands to your hips. You can step or hop your feet together. And then step towards the top of your mat. Exhale, release your arms down by your sides. Center yourself. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Top line of the shoulders stays soft. Hands come together. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back through high plank. You can always drop your knees to the floor to modify this part. And then lower slowly to your belly. Uncurl your toes. Press your toenails all 10 of them into the mat. Kneecaps are lifted, legs are strong. Hug the inner ankles, the inner thighs in. Press your pubic bone down, now inhale, lift your chest. Press into the palms. Shoulder blades hug into the back, elbows hug into the sides of the body. Throat is soft. Take 1 more breath into your side body, soften and open there. Exhale, back to the belly. Inhale, press up through all fours. And curl your toes under, lift your knees, downward facing dog. Knees can stay soft. Ways to modify here, since this is gentle. You can walk your feet wider. Wider feet tends to allow more weight to come into your feet, less in the hands. You can also prop your hands up onto blocks. This can also take weight back into the feet, less weight into the hands. You're welcome to work with your hands on the floor, shoulder distance. You're welcome to work with your feet hip distance. Find intuitively what your down dog needs to look like. And often, if you're tight in your legs or in your low back, even a bend in the knees helps. So a little bend in the knees, then I'm still lifting through my tail, pressing my belly towards the top of the thighs, stretching the spine long first, and then going for that extension through the legs. Couple more breaths here. Pressing the floor away from you, through your feet, through your hands. Inhale, rebounding up through the tail. soften and open through your side bodies as you inhale. Navel to spine as you exhale. Tail lifts and you're rooted into the floor. Dropping your knees to the floor, uncurl your toes, child's pose. Wider knees, a little more of a hip stretch. Narrower knees, a little more support for the lower back. Arms can stay stretching forward. Arms can come down along your sides. If your forehead doesn't want to touch down all the way, maybe you fold your hands underneath your forehead. Breathe here in your child's pose. Each exhalation, find passive groundedness through this pose. Draping the upper body over the low body, finding softness, even as you pull your navel towards your spine. Each exhale. Each inhale, and soften and open through the sides of your bodies. Think side waist, think side ribs as you inhale. Reaching the arms forward if they're not. Inhale, come up through all fours. Roll over the feet. Come through seated with your legs straight out in front of you. Feet come about hip distance, outer hip distance apart as you come into this posture. If you feel very rounded in your upper body, then you'll sit up on something again, either one or both pillows, or maybe one of your blocks or rolled towels. And just for a moment here, center yourself. So bring the shoulders back. Bring the weight even over the sitting bones, front to back, side to side. Let the weight of your thighs and your shins drop. In fact, press back or press down for a second through your back of your heels. Think of that groundedness down through the back side of the legs as you lift up through your spine. Now soften the knees just a bit. Flex your toes, all 10 of them, back towards your face. And then start to bow forward. Maybe the hands frame the feet. Maybe you grab your ankles or your feet. Inhale, come up a little bit. Find a little bit of length. From belly to chest to forehead, get a little bit longer. And then fold again. Softening the throat, collarbones. Each exhalation as you draw your navel in, soften the skin right below your navel. Draw the navel in, and then find that passive groundedness down into the floor through your legs. As you inhale, lengthen, low back, mid back, upper back, neck. Soften and open into the side bodies as you inhale. Inhale, look forward, start to walk yourself upright. And then you can bend your knees. And grab your bolster or your pillows. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees. And you can prop your blocks or whatever underneath your knees here. And then bring your bolster or your pillows behind you. I always use 2 pillows because they're not quite as thick as bolsters, so this gives you a little more oomph behind you. And set up so that the pillows are about a fist distance behind you. You can always adjust the height of the props underneath your knees if you need to. And we're actually going to begin with a fold. So you can either grab your ankles or your big toes, or sometimes I like to curl my fingers under the pinky edge of my feet. Inhale, find some length. And as you exhale, bow forward. You can always walk the hands forward if you like. Come into the pose, letting the legs rest into the props. Exhalation as the navel draws in, you're still emphasizing that passive groundedness down into the floor. And as you inhale, you're emphasizing length as you soften and open through the sides of your body. Pausing, breathing for a few more breaths here. Just being really clear with yourself. Breathing directly into any boundaries that you come upon in this posture, whether that be physical, mental, energetic. And challenge yourself to just be here without trying to change anything. Just be here and take 5 more breaths. Inhale, begin to walk yourself upright. And as you come upright, you can use your arms to help support you as you lay back onto the bolster or the pillows behind you. Adjust, make sure your head and neck are comfortable. Arms rest comfortably down along your sides, palms facing up. Close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, look down towards the tip of your nose. Imagine your eyeballs are resting, softening onto your cheekbones, just relaxing the space behind your eyes, softening under the bridge of your nose. Relaxing your jaw, relax your tongue. You can feel your tongue move away from the roof of your mouth. Relax all the way down to the root of your tongue. And welcome yourself here. Invite this posture to be more observing and less fixing. Softening into this posture. Breathing into it with your attention, with your breath. Observe where you're holding tension physically in your body. Notice if there's any physical tension that you can release. one at a time, extend your legs, feet flopping out to the sides. And then begin to move your jaw around, a little face stretching here. Be expressive with your face. You have your eyes closed. Moving your jaw around, maybe opening and closing your mouth in different ways. With your eyes closed, squinting and releasing. And then relaxing your face, finding some stillness again there. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. Soften and broaden the skin in the center of your forehead, your third eye. Stretching your arms up by your ears. You can point and flex your feet a couple times. And then bend the knees. You can relax the arms back out by your sides. Walk your feet to the width of your mat. And you might want to move your blocks or your rolled blankets for this part. Drop over to your left. So the feet are the width of the mat. Knees are dropping over to the left. Get a little heavier through your right arm, your right shoulder, and look over to the right. Relax the neck as you look to the right. Close your eyes. Let the weight of the legs be heavy. As you breathe in, you're breathing evenly into the left and the right side. Another breath here in your twist. And then exhale, bring your knees back up through the center. Just for a moment in the center, let your knees drop together. Take a breath. And then the knees part and the knees drop over to the right. As the knees drop right, look over your left shoulder with your gaze. And let the left shoulder and the left arm be heavy into the mat. Breathing in, softening and opening through your side bodies. Breathing out, navel to spine, legs and left arm heavy and passive into the gravity, into the mat. Take a deep breath. 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 Take a deep bre to your low belly. Take one breath here. Inhale slowly. And exhale slowly. And then use your arms. Pressing into the arms. You'll press yourself back upright. And you can decide on this next one. Option 1. You'll come through all fours. You'll take your bolster or your pillows in between the legs, and then you'll sit back so that the tops of the feet are coming towards the mat. It's a variation of Virasana pose. So this is option 1. Option 2 is that you can sit either on your heels or sit on one of your blocks in between your feet. Again, we're really trying to keep the inner and outer edges of the feet grounded evenly in this one. Or you can sit without the prop in between your feet. So I'm going to leave it up to you. Again, be intuitive. You can always prop yourself up higher if needed. Use more props, especially if the knees have a hard time with this much flexion. Be gentle with yourself. Again, you're not trying to fix anything. You're not trying to fix yourself for the practice. You're actually adjusting and fixing your practice for yourself. So with that in mind, you can stay upright. Hands will rest on mid-thigh. Shoulders back. You can bring your hands behind you. Chest lifts. You can bring your elbows to the mat, or you can come all the way onto your back. If you're on a block like me, you just don't want to, you want to make sure that your knees aren't lifting up off the floor. So you want to keep that sense of groundedness through the shins. You know you've gone too far if your shins are lifting. And be intuitive as far as that feeling of resistance. There's a difference between discomfort and pain. So just, this is a little bit uncomfortable, it's pretty normal. However, if you feel pain in a joint, then you absolutely should adjust. Bring your attention back to your breathing. I recommend closing your eyes. Again, it doesn't matter what it looks like, whether you're upright, whether you're part of the way back, whether you're all the way back. The integrity in the pose is really internal. That willingness to stay grounded from your pelvis down into the floor, so that you can find that lightness and spaciousness from the waist up as you soften and open through your side bodies as you inhale. And as you exhale, relax your low belly, navel to spine. From the pelvis, you're rooted down into the floor. Take a few more breaths here. You can always adjust while you're here. Slow. Slowly coming upright if you've come back. Keeping that sense of groundedness from your pelvis down. Coming forward through all fours. Stretching your right leg back. Curl your right toes under. Roll over the ball of the foot a little. Let the blood flow back into the leg, the ankle, the foot, the knee. right knee down, extend your left leg back. Again, with the toes curled under, you're moving over the foot, stretching there a bit. Left knee comes down, pressing back into child's pose. Take 5 breaths in your child's. Each exhale, emphasize that passive groundedness into the floor. As you soften your low belly, as you draw your navel in. As you inhale, breathe into your side body. Soften and open there. Reaching the arms forward if they're not. Come up through all fours. Now I find for this next part, I like to actually use all my props, but it's up to you. So taking my blocks out in front of me, I'm putting them on the lowest setting. You could also do medium. And then placing my pillows up on top of that. And I'm setting up for a modified down dog. So as I bring my hands on either side of my props here, I'll lift my knees and I'll let my head rest onto the props. So a little bit of weight is in that kind of forehead, hairline area of my head, but there's still weight in my hands and in my legs. Just allowing the weight of the head to rest into the pillows, into the props. Breathing into the side bodies as you inhale. As you exhale from your chest, you're rooted down into the floor through strong arms. From your pelvis, you're rooted down into the floor through strong legs. Top line of the shoulders is soft. Head just hanging into that prop. Take a couple more breaths. Supported child's pose next. Knees a little wider so that the prop can come in between the knees, and as you come forward, belly, chest, one side of your face rests on your prop. Arms rest down along your sides. You can bring them down here, you can reach them around the props. Close your eyes. And again, as you exhale, that passive groundedness into the earth. As you inhale, as though you could receive energy from the earth up into the back of the torso, into the sides of the ribs, into the sides of your waist. Switching which side of your face is on the props. Taking a few more breaths here. softness in this posture. A softness in which you can see clearly and you can see and observe without judgment. Just taking about 5 more breaths. Bolsters to the side just for a moment and come through to seated. Grab a block. You can place one block towards the top of your mat, bring the other block towards you, and then as you come onto your back, bend your knees so your feet come comfortably close to your butt, and you can lift up and slide your prop underneath your butt, right above your tailbone. Any height that makes sense here. I recommend medium, maybe not the highest setting, but totally up to you. Letting the shoulders drop back. You're welcome to keep your feet grounded. If you're interested, you can lift your feet and extend your legs straight up out of your pelvis. Flexing the feet, rooting up through the feet like you were standing on the ceiling, but allowing the weight of your thigh bones to drop down into the hip sockets, letting the weight of the pelvis rest onto the block. Close your eyes, about 10 to 15 more breaths here. Don't count your breath. Just observe that sense of evenness as you inhale, soften and open through your side bodies. As you exhale, navel to spine, passive groundedness into the floor, into the block. Bolster or pillows behind you. You'll bring that second block that's at the top of your mat to the center of your block, probably medium setting, you can always adjust it. And I'm actually going to sit up onto my bolster and then lay back so that my shoulders and my head come to the floor, and basically from the base of my shoulder blades down is on the bolster. And I can keep my knees bent, I can cactus my arms, or I can extend the legs and let the heels rest, hypothetically here, on that block that you may or may not have to adjust for yourself so that the heels rest on the block. Shoulders, head on the floor. From the base of the shoulder blades down is on the bolster. Close your eyes. Soften your throat. Let your chin drop towards your throat a bit. Just comfortably. As you inhale, breathe into your side body. Soften and open there. As you exhale, soften your low belly, navel to spine. Again, that gentle softness at the bottom of each exhale. A few more breaths here. If you've extended your legs, go ahead and bend your knees so your feet come to the mat. Rolling off to your right side, use your right arm like a pillow. Press up. Either move the block out to the side, and you can set the bolsters to the side, or you can take your pillows underneath your thighs or your knees as you rest back into your Shavasana tonight. A moment to settle. If you need an extra padding under your head and your neck, make sure your head, your chin, and your forehead are neutral when they're level with each other. Shoulders drop back, arms drop back into the floor. Make sure your tailbone's comfortable. Again, with your eyes closed, look down. Let the weight of your eyeballs rest on your cheeks. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. Soften and broaden the skin in the center of your forehead, your third eye. And then bring all of your attention to your palms. Sense the temperature, the texture of the mat underneath your hands. Sense the temperature of the air on the skin of your palms. Any sensations in your hands, in your fingers. As you completely still your hands and just keep your attention there with your palms. Just a place, a focal point for your deep attention, sensation in the palms. This focal point allows your mind to relax a bit as it gently focuses on any sensations in your hands as you still and soften your hands. Deepen your breath again. You can release your attention from your hands. Extend your awareness back out through to the periphery, the space around you. Notice the feeling of rest in your body. And notice the feeling of presence in your body and in your mind. Softly begin to run your fingertips up against your thumbs, wiggle your toes, taking a full body good morning stretch, stretch long through your body, and then bend your knees, either knees into your chest or feet to your bolster or your mat, and you can stay on your back as long as you like, or when you're ready in the next several breaths, make your way up through seated. Sitting comfortably, keeping your gaze soft or your eyes closed. Bringing your hands palms to touch in front of your chest, Anjali Mudra. And sitting with a strong spine and a light heart as you bow your chin towards your chest. Bowing to yourself, to your practice, to this time, this last hour or so that you've spent on your mat, away from everything else. And may we be nourished by this practice as we move into whatever comes next in the day, in the evening. Thank you for joining me this afternoon, this morning, this evening, whenever this video finds you. Namaste.